This week on Inside Boulder News. Join the city as it gears up for some spring cleaning all next month. The city is inviting community members to take climate action in their own backyard. And they'll miss the 71st Annual Conference on World Affairs. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. Boulder is gearing up for some spring cleaning. The city is inviting community members to get their hands dirty and help give Boulder a spring refresh during Community Cleanup Day. Projects include trail and pathway maintenance, tree plantings, and park beautification. This year's community cleanup efforts are a little different.
This year we've changed Community Cleanup Day into Community Cleanup Month, actually, and it's just a month focused on getting the city beautified and ready for the summer.
Back for its 17th year, Community Cleanup Month will feature projects all across the city, as well as an opportunity to coordinate a project in your own neighborhood.
There is a grant that they can receive to help fund the project that they're doing, whether that's funding snacks to bring the group together or paying for a dumpster to help fund that piece of the project if they need it.
City cleanup efforts include trail and pathway maintenance, tree plantings, creek cleanups, and a project in the Columbia Cemetery.
So we will be having a project, Parks and Rec is having a project here in Columbia Cemetery on May 4th, that's a Saturday, and that one is one that's open to the community. So community members can sign up, and Comcast is coming to bring breakfasts and lunch for everybody who participates.
Everybody is welcome and encouraged to participate. Those interested can do so by visiting Count Me in Boulder and registering for Community Cleanup Month activities.
We hope that this is a way that people can not only participate for one day, but they can make a difference one day, and then throughout their lives as they go throughout Boulder and use our city's resources, they keep that in mind and they just love and care for those resources even more.
The city's community cleanup efforts will take place all throughout the month of May. More information can be found by visiting bouldercolorado.gov/volunteer. On Tuesday, April 2nd, the Boulder County Commissioners voted to approve a fourth tower location to complete the radio infrastructure improvements project. With a vote of 2-1, the city will now move forward with completing the project and expect the new system to be up and running in late 2019. Partial funding for this project was approved by voters in 2017 as part of the Community Culture and Safety Tax. Once complete, this new system will provide much-needed updates to the city's current radio infrastructure system. More information can be found by visiting the website seen on screen. Boulder celebrates the environment year-round, but April is an opportunity to celebrate all the sustainability efforts in the community. One of those efforts is inviting community members to take climate action in your backyard. Stopping climate change is much more than reducing emissions from our energy systems. Some of it starts from the ground up.
We're actually going to have to start taking carbon back out of the atmosphere as well. And so there's a variety of ways that we could do that, but we think that one of the best ways to take carbon back out is to do it as nature's always done it, which is living plants basically use carbon to create all the things that we enjoy.
It's called carbon farming, a new approach to fighting global warming. EcoCycle and the City of Boulder have launched the Community Carbon Farming Campaign, where members in the community will test out different ways of promoting plant growth in ways that sequester more carbon.
You'll basically take a part of your yard, your lawn area, and mark out a 10 by 10 section, and then another 10 by 10 section, which will be the area that you're going to add a treatment to.
In this 3-year study, participants will be applying different soil regeneration and carbon capture treatments on their backyard and then testing the soil for increased carbon.
Now, what's exciting about this program is that it's actually real citizen science. We're going to actually be compiling all of this data into a large database so that we'll be able to actually start to make a correlation between a treatment type and the improved carbon sequestration that's taking place.
EcoCycle and the city hope that results from this study will bring the community one step closer to reversing climate change.
It will also really help us manage our lands in our community in ways that not only take carbon out of the atmosphere, but as it turns out, the more carbon we have in our soil, the more water it holds, which of course is actually a way of tempering the climate. Like when it gets really hot, as we all know, the moister your lawn is, the cooler your house is going to be. So there are all these ways that actually bringing soil back into our natural systems actually helps us buffer against climate change, even as it helps us hopefully stabilize climate.
More information on carbon farming can be found by visiting ecocycle.org. This new bike lane in the Goss Grove neighborhood will now allow cyclists to travel through Grove Street safely and legally.
Essentially, we've had cyclists that were going the wrong way down a one-way street, and so we saw the need that putting in a contraflow bike lane, which would allow the cyclists to legally travel in the opposite direction of the cars, would satiate a need for travel behavior.
The Goss Grove Neighborhood Association and the city worked together to develop a design concept that would work for both the city and the community.
For me, I go downtown a lot, and so it'll make legal coming home. Right now, we either have to legally go down the street or go through the Liquor Mart parking lot and a sort of a back alley to get home. So it'll just enable a little safer route home.
This project right here is really emblematic of our low-stress walk and bike network plan, where we're looking at streets and how we can make them least stressful for cyclists and pedestrians. And so this is an early deliverable of the low-stress walk and bike network plan by making this street a two-way for cyclists and a one-way for vehicles.
To learn more about the city's transportation projects, please visit bouldertransportation.net. The 71st Annual Conference on World Affairs kicks off on April 9th and continues through the 13th at the University of Colorado Boulder. The conference will hold over 200 events covering arts, science, and human rights. Over 100 speakers and performers are in attendance. All events are free and open to the public. You can find the full schedule by visiting colorado.edu/CWA. And speaking of the Conference on World Affairs, the City of Boulder will be sponsoring free hot bus rides during the 5 days of the conference. The city's flagship hot bus service will be free to everyone from April 9th through the 13th during CU Boulder CWA. The hop runs between Boulder Junction, the 29th Street Mall, CU Boulder, and downtown. People driving into the city can take advantage of free parking on the second level of the Macy's parking garage at 29th Street. To view bus schedules and maps, please go to rtddenver.com. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. Have a good week.